interesting.
Yeah.
This is kind of an odd question. Everybody always here wants to know what the best hunt you've ever been on, and I want to ask that. But what's the worst experience you've had as a ghost hunter? Nobody ever seems to ask that question, but I know as a ghost hunter, sometimes you go out to places and it's not so great.
Right.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple different things. Now, do you mean investigation-wise or just overall?
Just overall. Everything going wrong is...
All right, well, as you know, there's a lot of paranormal drama out in the field today.
There is. There is indeed. I apologize for that. Sorry. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And there's a lot of people a lot of groups out there who are in it just either to make a name for themselves, things like that. Well, we believe we ran into such a group, and it was really, really painful to see how they were treating this family. As you know, we're not big on dust or orbs, as you call them, because we believe there's so many different things they can be labeled as. They're very rare. Well, we come to find out that there's a family that we were helping out, and originally we actually went in to help this other group because they asked for our assistance. We're like, okay, we'll come in and give you our view on things and see if it correlates with what you have. We get in there, and we were shown some of the evidence that they portrayed to this family, and it was mind-blowing, and not in the good way.
Oh no!
They practically told their family that their house was haunted, being overrun with spirits, and they got this idea from a picture of a lot of dust.
Oh, that's terrible.
And they had a couple of other things there, like they took a picture and it had like a purple mist. And they didn't even try to do anything about it, but I took a look at it, and I brought Matt, who's one of our team members, out, and because I looked at the area of the picture, and I had him recreate it on the spot while we were there, and we even got the purple mist just like it was in the picture. The same thing, another thing they did, which was horrible, was they were on their investigation, and they took a picture, and it was a motion blur of the founder from a standing position to a sitting position. So you see all the movements from standing to sitting. And they gave that picture to the homeowner saying, this is a demon, you have a demon in your house.
Oh my gosh.
Even though you can see details of the founder in each transition.
There are two things that makes me think of. One is a degree of incompetence. You know, people who just like say, hey, I think I'm going to start a ghost group, and you know, the dust orbs and stuff like that. And not realizing that you're dealing with people who live in a place. This is their home. People are supposed to feel secure in their home, and then portraying this very poor, easily explainable evidence as evidence of a haunting. That sounds incompetent. But in addition to that, it sounds like they were being obtuse in that they were showing them stuff that was easily debunked. If you're talking about a motion blur and telling someone a demon is there, that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible.
It's almost like they want everything to be haunted. They will not try to find any logical reason behind it. If they get one piece of dust, they're going to tell you it's an orb. They're going to say it's a spirit. You have a ghost right here.
And you've got people in the paranormal that I think, different groups out there who I think feed on the fear of clients.
Yeah.
I think there's people out there with some malicious intent, and that's so very sad because your home is your sanctuary.
Exactly.
And to scare these people in their own home, I mean, these people are so scared they wouldn't stay in their home.
And what made the case so heartbreaking as well is they actually have a 2-year-old kid.
Oh my goodness.
And the 2-year-old kid actually was having instances where he would say monsters in the living room. And he was calling whatever might be there a monster.
Oh, that's terrible.
And so that raised a big red flag to us. We're like, okay, wait, he's seeing something. And he even pointed out in the hallway at one point and asked his dad, who's that man standing there? And the father didn't see anything. But luckily, we were able to go in and we did our investigation. We made sure the other group was not there at the time. And we got the homeowner's permission for that. We weren't stepping on anybody's toes. We wanted to make sure that they wanted a fresh view. We wanted to come in and give them a fresh view. So we had to do that without any of the prior members there because they already labeled the place haunted and without showing them all the evidence.
Yes.
So we went in. Now we did get some evidence from there. We got a lot of walking around, objects moving, and 3 cameras showing there's nobody in that area. So there were some things going on, but because we were there.
Nothing demonic or malicious like what they were led to believe. That's a very good morality tale in this business. That you got to be careful who you invite into your home. You really want to check credentials, look on the website, do some research before you invite somebody into your home. But that's terrifying that somebody would do something like that. Well, now what's the best experience that you've had? Oh,
best experience I had to say hands down was Ohio State Reformatory.
Wow, what all did you get there?
Name it.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We were pretty much just starting to set up our equipment, and things started going on.
Oh yeah.
We had Maggie and Nick up in the administration area. They were in one of the offices on the second floor. They were setting up a camera, and Nick actually sees a shadow figure move out of the corner of his eye. He was watching it for a while, but at first he thought it was Maggie.
Yeah.
But Maggie's sitting right next to him, or standing next to him, and she's not moving. So he finally looks up, and he sees the shadow kind of blend into another shadow, and he just kind of froze like the first second. He's like, all right, debunk mode. We got to figure out what it is.
Yeah.
And so he figured out it wasn't Maggie. He's like, well, maybe it was somebody walking down the street. They're on the second story.
Wow.
So he that was his first
Nick
one.
has a telltale face when he sees something.
Yes, he
and
does.
I'm like, you just saw something, and I didn't see it. What was it?
Now, you got some really good video evidence from that too that you showed in your presentation of a shadow person walking through a wall. Essentially, it looked like.
Well,
right?
kind of. It was actually, I think it actually went into one of the cells in Solitary.
Okay, yeah.
We had two investigators, one from Gig Paranormal up in Ohio, and the other was Jeff, formerly of our group. And they're walking down, and actually what's great is when Steve first walks down, he illuminates the entire hallway to show there's nothing there. And the wall that they go down and they back up against is an exterior wall that's 2 feet thick, so there's no hallways out that way. So they back up and they actually stop because they heard a sound and they didn't know what it was. And he starts panning his light back and forth across the cells.
Yeah.
Well, the first time he pans it, you don't see anything, but then he comes back, and the second time he pans that light, you see a black mass, and you can see the leg motion, everything just scurry right across where they are to the opposite side. And
that was an amazing piece of video. Now, is that on your website? Have you got that on there? What is your website?
Well, it's a long address, but I'll do the brief version of it. It's www.NorthAmericanParanormalSociety.com. Just make sure you put a dash in between each word of North American
I'll try and
Society.
put the text under us. Edit it.
Subtitles.
Subtitles. Well, all right. What are your plans for the future?
Oh wow, there's a lot of things.
Now wait. Before I get there, you've got a radio show too.
Yes, we do. Sean and I actually started up a radio show. It's called Spectral Talk Radio. It's right now it's every other Friday night at 10 o'clock on blogtalkradio.com.
And y'all were kind enough to have me as a guest on there.
No, we love to have you as a guest. That was great. That was a fun show. I'm glad you got to stay the entire time too. I know you were busy that night, so that was really good that you get to stay.
Spectral Talk.
Spectral Talk Radio. And you can find us actually, it's blogtalkradio.com/ST Radio.
Okay.
Now it'll take you directly to us. And if you haven't heard the show before, you can actually go to the archives, listen to all of our up to present. So you can listen to Eddie's, you can listen to
You've had a number of guests.
Yeah.
Quite a few. Keith Age was on it.
Jason Gowan.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. Very good. Very good. So about the future, what are you planning on doing?
Well, now that Sean is actually out in Missouri, he's starting up the Missouri chapter. We do plan on taking on the Ohio State Reformatory again, and we're going to try to take it on as N.A.P.S. Everybody from Missouri and North Carolina, we're all going to combine together and take on the OSR. That's one of the big things coming up. I know Sean did say he wants to do Zombie Road at some point.
Oh, that's something we've got to do. That is number one on my list.
Yeah. A lot of things happening out there. Just make sure we have a thermal by then so we can see where the coyotes are.
Exactly.
And a 45.
And a 45.
And plenty. Yeah, since in the interview in Children of the Grave, the police officer telling you to go out there armed. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, it's always a pleasure to have you at Haunted Hickory. I'm glad that you guys were here. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Good luck. Yeah. Thank you, Eric.
Appreciate it.
And Maggie.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.